Today we will talk about how can we use AI to work through international tenders. What used to take very long to analyze, we can analyze it quite quickly. So we work in steel industry as one of the prime focus. I will take you through a steel tender that I recently filled using Claude. And in this presentation, which is also Claude generated, look at how beautiful this presentation is. If we had to make something like this, it would take ages, or you had to pay a designer to do it. And Claude generated this document in less than 10 minutes and just giving the right prompt. So I'll try and cover this presentation in this. The 6-step tender workflow. How do you upload a document and give instructions to AI to review it? How do you create a RFQ, which is request for quotation, what you want to send out to your vendors that give me pricing for this? And how do you make quotations for your clients, your proposals, estimates, or whatever, by whatever name called? Fifth step, which is a proposal cover letters and submissions. Fourth step also, we covered it. Then how do you write your first prompt? If you don't know how to write a prompt, you can tell AI to teach you how to write a prompt. AI would write you a prompt, and then pro tips for better results. Briefly, this is what we will cover. There are two ways you can work through tenders. You know what used to take 3 days. AI also told me what to say in my presentation. Look, if you look at the line down, it would say like, but really, what would take you a week, not even 3 days, to be honest. Now you can do it in 3 hours, not even 3 hours, actually, an hour, depending on how much information do you already have. In your industry, you would already know a lot of information. So there's a 50-page document. You have to manually read it one by one. These documents have a lot of fine prints. Then you have to spend days trying to fill it, calculate price from scratch, make there are no clerical errors, put it through a different model of Excel. And then you make sure that you haven't missed out any compliance clause, which AI would make sure it would do it with like 99% accuracy. You still have to go to the documents. You cannot rely on it completely, but chances of error has reduced drastically. AI is going to read and summarize everything. You can even check if this tender or this opportunity is for you. So it's going to flag all kind of risks, red flag anything which it knows about you. It has memory. It keeps your memory. It will autofill forms and draft cover letters based on things it knows. Helps you with the pricing. And here is like a 6-step process which we recommend you can look at. There's no one way of doing anything. So obviously the first thing would be you will upload a document and give AI prompts explaining to AI what it's doing. AI is going to Claude, or it could be any other model. I like Claude a lot. So AI is going to review your document, give you an analysis, a 2-pager, depending on how long or short you want that information. Uh, then you can ask AI to create a request for quotation. If you want to get pricing from vendors about certain things, you can ask it to create multiple RFQs. If you already have the pricing, you can skip this step and you can just go on to build your quotation. You might have a quotation software, some kind of CRM, ERP. You can reduplicate that work there and for your records, but this is going to create a beautiful quotation. There might be ways to link your CRMs and ERPs, use some kind of Zapier. You could even build those tools, but we're trying to keep it basic and simple. And then obviously you'll write your very crisp proposal with a cover letter, and then you can review it before you submit it, right? Simple. So let's talk about the first step, loading all your documents onto Claude. It's whatever documents you have, you can just dump it. Claude's going to, or any AI, is going to read through all the documents. You, if you don't know what to say, just say one simple line. You don't have to even learn how to write prompts. You can just say like, I've uploaded a tender document, please review it. Even if you write this much, it's going to do the rest. But we suggest give a detailed prompt, which we will talk about later. And Claude or any other AI is going to do everything. Most important is what is the payment terms, what guarantees you will have to give, is there any red flags, technical, commercial, etc. It's based on your industry. It's going to cover all this. Let's study a real life example. For example, this is a tender document, which is a tender in Namibia of a transmission line, which is one of our core businesses. And I've uploaded it with giving it some reviews. I'm going to scroll through this slowly without reading it. You can pause the video and see if you would like to see. But this prompt was generated using AI. I will show you how I generated it. I did not write it, which I also suggest you don't write it. And you would see on the right, this is how a document would come. If you look to the top, there is a Google Drive button. You can save this document automatically on Google Drive. You can download it. You can play with this document, ask Claude to change it. It's given out everything, the name of the tender, who's the employer, which is Namibia Power Corporation, what is the scope, etc. If you go down, it's written a beautiful executive summary. Let's look at just few of these. For example, steel grades, galvanizing and fabrication specification, action required. There are two kind of grades. This is South African standard of steel grade. In India, we got high tensile and mild steel. But we did a comparison and we've got reports to confirm it's the same. So it has asked you whether you can do grade to this specification. Now you can also ask it in Indian version or any other standards of any other foreign country. Does it match? But I will not go into steel specs here. Uh, it's also mentioned here there's missing information as there is no payment terms visible, performance guarantee percentage visible in review schedules, full contract condition from client. Like you must clarify these things. It's not very clear in the tender, so it's giving you all that. It's given out everything in a very simple way. These are the items requested. You can give a lump sum on these. I'm going to scroll down quickly to explain this. Now we talk about the commercial analysis. What is the pricing format? Then there is some kind of risk analysis it has done. I'm not going to explain and go through this because it will differ tender by tender, but just to give an overview analysis of what it's capable of doing. I'll go through a little bit slowly, so if anything is interesting, you can pause the video and read through. It's also drafted a bunch of questions you must ask your potential vendor buyer. Sorry, you can ask your potential contractor buyer or the boat. It's given. So the purpose of doing all this is one, to do the things fast, and second, to reduce risk. This is the technical specification. Anytime they would ask you, this is what you need, and then you would just say like, this is what I've offered. What we normally do is if everything is great, we just strike a line here and we write two words, no deviation, which means we agree with everything you say, we don't deviate. But some boats would require you to fill it up. But many times in practice, I've seen, especially in Africa, is they would just draw a line here, both from top to down and to right and center, no deviation. But anyway, there's just a repeat of that. And so you can see like you've got like a beautiful 20-page tender analysis document. Someone extremely intelligent would take like 3 to 4 days to create this document with not 100% accuracy, which Claude has done for you. So this is how you load, and then it's also going to ask you questions. Automatically questions would appear, and you would have to answer them to give better prompts. The AI is going to give you better response after that. And it's also told you that, look, this is what they've created in the document on the right, which is your tender analysis report. They've put 12 or 14 parts to this document. If you want something else done, you can talk to it and say like, oh, would you please change this, etc. It's going to change that for you, right? I also mentioned that we don't do contracting work, we only do supplies. So that scope of the work should be taken out. We will only code for the supply bit, not for the tender bit. It has understood that. Then also design responsibility is a red flag because they want us to design and test the towers, which is an expensive process. And so it's not something we like to really undertake. So I mentioned all that, some knowledge base about your industry. You'll have to put, you can also, as I covered in the tender, we will talk in another video about Claude skills, AI agents. You can learn a lot of this online yourself because a lot of content is out there. I'm just trying to cover things which is more, which is not generally covered. What is covered already, I don't want to talk about it. So it's, look, okay, the next stage is, so this is how we would do a tender review based on Claude. So now you've understood the review system, a review of your whole tender in 20 pages, section by section. You can see which one is something you should pay attention to. Now, let us say you don't make these and you want to send this to a vendor to request him for pricing, request for quotation. You can ask Claude in a very simple way, create a request for quotation based on this tender. Now, if you have multiple vendors, you can say create a request for quotation for galvanizing. You can create a request for quotation for steel supply. It could be one standard request for quotation, depending again on the industry, right? So this is the prompt we wrote. I'll just not read it, but you can pause and read if you're interested, because again, industry-wise, it would change. And you can just write a simple one-liner prompt. It will ask some questions based on you're having a conversation, and then it's going to build you a request for quotation, which you can send to your supplier for pricing. It's going to appear on the right. It's busy loading. So via this request for quotation, we'll come back to this. Okay, it's here. You can, if you have put all the details properly, like for example, this was the first time I've tried to do it. We will feed later the company name, etc. You can copy this on Google Drive and copy it on your letterhead as well. Upload a letterhead. It's quite intelligent to understand. So you can see, I'm not going to read it again. You can see, pause in video and see a nice request for quotation is created, which you can also put deadlines, etc. You can make it a one-pager, three-pager. You can tell it, please number every page. It's going to do whatever you instruct it to do. We asked for some changes here. We said like the deadline is priority as soon as possible. Now it didn't. It did an amended version, so it keeps changing. So this is an amended version. I don't know why it's not opening. I again mentioned changes. I mentioned the company details, what they must put it as header, footer. Look, another amended version came, so you can keep talking to it. This is a paid version of Claude I have, so responses might be slightly better, but now you can see company name, etc. is loaded. There is a RFQ reference number, the date, etc. Quite a few things are uploaded now. Here, we don't know whom we are sending it to. You can create multiple RFQs from here. You can get on Google Drive, type it yourself, make some small changes, or you can keep telling Claude, please create RFQ for this company and that company, and you can upload a list, link it via Google Drive. It will create multiple RFQs in one command. So again, this is like for a basic beginner level overview, but it can get as advanced as you can possibly imagine. Uh, since I already knew the price, what I want to quote, okay, so this is a cover letter for the RFQ. What you want to send to your supplier. That would, along with the request for quotation, this is a cover letter. But we'll come back. We'll come to the section now of how do you build a quotation. The first section was how do you reach out to your vendors. Next section is how do you create a quotation to price to your clients. Uh, if you look through this information, I've given it some information. I asked it to calculate the weight of steel. If you're dealing with some other industry, you'll ask for like technical information you would need to understand and price them. Uh, and again, like I'm not going to read this whole prompt that I wrote, but as you can see here, I said like this is the price you can quote. Uh, Make sure you put it as CIF ocean port name. It will get the ocean port where it's delivered. We always price CIF cost insurance freight to the ocean port. We don't get involved in inland haulage because to get those pricing is difficult and the risk is high. It should be the client's responsibility to clear the cargo and take it to their warehouses. We generally don't get involved. But you can always ship it to a dry port inland if the client is extremely far away. I don't think the price goes up a lot. The risk goes up a lot because the clearance would happen through a dry port, etc. Again, you can pause it and read these commands that we've written. And this here is I've copy pasted the invoice terms which we have always used. Like I'll just read like the first line. The scope of the work covered by this proposal includes design, testing, manufacturing, hot dip galvanizing, supply of material, and other steel structures as per buyer specification, and drawings, including but not limited to designing and testing towers, procurement of material, doing some prototyping, etc., etc. It goes on. So these terms and conditions are standard what we have used. If you don't have one, you can always ask Claude or AI to create it. Make sure you put a force majeure clause, which just means that should something happen which is not in your control via act of God, then you cannot be contractually held responsible to fulfill this contract. Uh, so this is a term you must just put in every quotation. There is milestones of payment you have put here. Claude understood everything. It has crystallized what I said in a beautiful way. Uh, it's given a pricing. This is how much it would cost. It would have a good price, like, and then we also said like how the payment terms should be split. And look how beautiful this proposal has been built out. Then I said while it's still loading that sign it off as our marketing manager, put his name and date. It's also going to do that for you. I must have requested some changes. I said like the weight of steel is going to go up 4% on account of galvanizing. So this is how I want to charge them, with galvanized steel pricing. And just this is just numbers I've put for the purpose of this video really. Now we will get an amended quotation here. We're going to get a amended proposed quotation. It's not loading, but let's see if there's a third amended one. Look, yeah, let's look at this one. So this seems like the last version based on, oh, there's another one. The versions normally keep changing. Look, just refer to one, but you're getting the logic of what I'm trying to say. I requested that my logo be inserted, a header footer be inserted, and sometimes it cannot do certain things, and then you can go ahead and like create those things using Google Drive. As you can see a link here, so you can quite easily put a header on Google Drive. So without having to expect it to do 100%, sometimes when it's not working correctly, like I don't see a logo here, it's quite easy to insert that as a header on your letterhead, but look, 100% of everything is done. Oh, this is a manufacturer authorization, which you need for tender. You can pause and read. Normally people will give you like the tender would give you like the exact specification of how to write this, but we just generated one because we couldn't find one in the tender. I want to take you through this proposal once. It's quite interesting how Claude has generated this proposal. As you can see here, it's put a date, quotation number, everything, a letterhead, address to the client. It's also given a beautiful summary of what we are trying to supply, what's the unit price, what is Incoterms, etc. And then it goes on to write the whole proposal with the scope, quality control, etc., etc. Again, I'm not going to read it. You can see a little bit of an alignment problem. Yours faithfully should be down here, up here. It's nicer. Like if this goes in the next line, it's not good. But these are small little edits we can clean up using Google Sheets. You can also keep giving it prompts and say like, this is how you want it. Remove these lines, don't like these lines. You want boxes, you don't want boxes. All of these things it would do. But you saw like how easy it was to create this proposal using AI, which covers everything from the tender, and most of the things you would have put it. Again, depends on the prompt you use for this. So now we have seen how do you create like a RFQ and also a quotation. Also, you could put a simple prompt to create a cover letter, which would include the tender number, everything else. If there's any deviation, that also it would mention. You can fill out tender forms as well. You can upload a form and say you need help to fill it out. Claude's going to do it. Obviously, then you got to review everything and download it. You can say like you want a PDF version. You can save it directly to Google Drive, and it's going to do that. If you don't know how to write a prompt, because AI will work based on prompt, you can give it like one line command. It's going to do that. Or you can go on to AI and say, please help me write a prompt. This is what I'm trying to achieve. Then AI is going to write a prompt, something like defining what this AI is. You are my senior marketing manager. You are a very senior proposal manager with deep knowledge of structural, steel, etc. What is your industry? You write something like this. But let's see, like, if you just want to do a starter prompt, you can just say like, I've uploaded tender documents for this particular project in this particular country. Study it and give me scope of work, technical qualifications, risk flag, etc., etc. So this again, you can ask Claude to write it for you. Please help me write where I'm trying to work through a tender, where I'm trying to make a RFQ, and I'm trying to write a proposal for the client. So what are the things I should ask Claude? How do I write my prompts? And it's going to generate a nice prompt like you saw in the video. Uh, Look, here it is, the first line. If I'm going to read from here, tell Claude I have a steel tower tender in Namibia. What should I ask you? It will write the prompt for you. You can copy paste your previous templates. You can upload it. Claude remembers the full conversation, so you can keep talking. Now create an RFQ. Now create a quotation. Please add my company name, etc. But remember, always remember, AI is your assistant, not your replacement. It's like he's a very senior assistant, but you must still verify once everything before submitting. But your effort would have reduced like 80%, maybe 90%, sometimes 95%. So we'll try and create a video for making agents, sub-agents, and more advanced skills like how do you create skills within Claude. But there's a lot of content on this online. There is other people who have teaching skills which I don't have, who can teach you these skills better, who know these concepts better than I do. But I just wanted to relate it to an industry from someone who is. I'm quite a beginner at these kind of things, and if I can do it, I believe anybody with basic knowledge can do it. So I'll do a quick recap, which is you can upload tender documents, AI will analyze it. You can create RFQs and quotations, cover letters with just one conversation. You can do pricing calculations with Claude as your assistant, so you don't have to use Excel sheets or calculators. If you don't know the prompt, just explain your situation and AI will write prompts. And I suggest start by learning a little bit on agents, sub-agents, and a little bit of skills on how do you get Claude to learn skills. There's automatic skills you can download. I'll also take a moment to talk about myself. I like to write books, so I've authored a few books. Uh, you can read more about me on this website. This is a YouTube channel. We get it in two languages, English and Hindi. We're trying to create other languages as well using translation, but these are two languages I speak. We help you set up factories. We can help you on cross-border trade advisory, international taxation matters if you're trying to work through multiple countries. Uh, any kind of other consultation you can think of in international businesses, such as setting up a factory abroad, expanding to a country specifically in Africa or other parts of the world as well. We have expertise to like take you through that process, structure it correctly. If you have a particular industry in which you're trying to do business development, we can get onto a call, we can brainstorm, we can take you through the process of what we have done, possibly take over some of your work if there is an alignment. So there's a whole host of services we can offer. This is an email you can reach out to us. Just introduce yourself, say hi. If you liked something, you want us to make something else, just write in the comments. You can reach out to us. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I don't have presentation skills in making YouTube videos. This is something my brother encouraged me to make based on what I used to teach in office. He was like, just put it on YouTube for the world to see, and office members can also see that. And we use a software called Loom for training purpose. I can take you through that as well. Look, these are different videos I have made. This is how I'm making a video. Once you've made a video, your internal team can watch it. So we also suggest don't train your team members, create a Loom video. It's extremely simple, easy to understand. So using a Loom video, loom.com, you can keep creating internal training material, which will always stay. Your team members can create it. There's a lot of videos we have made. This is one of the many accounts we have. This is one of our team members' account, which I'm using. So yeah, thank you very much and good luck with your international trade business development, and say hi. We love hearing from people. Thank you.